92% are not anti-Zionist, which means they are a part of the game. They are Haredim, but they goes to vote, they takes budget from the money, and we have got in Israel, they have 15 seats among 120 seats in the parliament. By the way, that woman working with the two boys, she is an anti-Zionist. She is not a part of the game, which means she and her husband and her community do not voting, do not taking money from the states. They have nothing to do with the Israel state. So again,
they don't do like the free healthcare or anything like that?
No, they use it, but they pay money. But they not take money. National security and so on, they do not take, for sure. I will later speak about the anti-Zionist in the other station. But I want to speak about the 92% that they are voting and they are a part of the system. God promised to Abraham, Isaac and Jacob the Holy Land. Jewish people prayed 2,000 years to turn back to Israel. 3 times a day, and we turn back to Israel. We have got here policemen Israeli, intelligent men, even criminal Israeli. That, believe me. So why you are not a Zionist? Why you are not a part of this dream? God fulfilled this dream. Why not? They says we are a long chain of 3,000 years. And this chain follow the rules of God. You, the Zionist, you are secular. You break the chain. So we cannot recognize an Israel states as secular states. They do not keep Shabbat. They do not follow the rules of God. So they cannot be Zionist. Makes sense. But the question is, if so, why are you taking money from the states? What is the answer? They says like this. Israel is surrounded with 500 million Arabs that wants to destroy Israel's state. Why they do not succeed? Not because of the IDF, not because of the Mossad, of the intelligence. No.
Because they study Torah.
Because of us. Perfect. We study Torah. We are the warriors of God. You are laughing. Okay. Doesn't make sense. But from this point of view, they are right. Because if you open the Bible, God says, you will stay in this state just if you will follow the rules of God. So this is the Zionists. Do not study Torah, do not follow the rules of God. And God says, if somebody will not follow my rules, I will kick him out from these states. So we have the privilege to live here. And your privilege is to give us money. Perfect. I give you the general ideas. But of course, many Haredim, they feel attached to Israel states, and their teenagers are more and more Zionist. It's complicated. I give you just the ideas, but it's not black and white as I described it.
여기가 구역별로 조금 다르다고 합니다. 이게 저쪽 50m랑 여기 50m랑 아예 다른 마을이래요. 여기는 조금 극보수 하레dim들이 사는 마을이고, 극보수주 유대인들도 복장에 따라서 조금씩 그 종류가 별로 나뉜다고 합니다.
Okay. Behind me is the Supreme Court of the anti-Zionists. They do not recognize the Israel states. They do not recognize the Israel institutions. From this point of view, the worst thing that happened to the Jewish people during the history is not the Inquisition, it's not the Holocaust, it's the Zionist states. Because the Nazis destroyed the bodies, but not the souls. The Zionists, they destroy the souls of the Jewish people. They caused to secularity by the Israelis, and they send most of the Jewish nation to hell. So from this point of view, the Zionist state is the horrible thing that happened to the Israel nation. They have got in a Supreme Court, they will get married, get divorced, business problems, and if somebody disobeyed the rabbis, so what is the solution? If somebody disobeyed the rabbis, they actually ask not, they're not police. The tool is excommunication. If you do not follow the rabbis, so nobody will speak with you, nobody will do business with you or like this. But how the community knows about the excommunication?
Printed?
Perfect, they had street. If somebody is excommunicated from the community, you will see a red street with his name, and of course signs from the rabbis. Signs from the rabbis mean this is actually an official head street. Those anti-Zionists, from this point of view, Israel people are not allowed to create a state. I speak about the 8%. Excuse me. I'm the alpha of love.
Yeah,
Believe me, I know you love each other forever. But here publicly, because God punished the Jewish people and spread them all over the world. And God says you are not a national anymore. You are not allowed to create a state. From this point of view, God gives the power to the non-Jewish people. So if you live in Poland, you have to obey the Polish government, in German, the German government, and you are not allowed to do provocation and to create a state. So they says here, that's the Holy Land. This is the land of God. But he gave the power to the Arabs, to the Palestinians. So we are not allowed to create a state till when? Till Messiah will come. Only Messiah, in a miracle way, will create a state and build the third temple. Most of them, they haven't political action, but they haven't some action against the states. We have got a small group called the Neturei Karta. They are pro-Palestinian. They're cooperating with the Palestinian. I remember when I was a boy, it was a rabbi with a long white beard. He was the Jewish minister by Yasser Arafat government. Of course, he was condemned. We have got more radical people. We are not allowed to live in Israel, and they live in USA. There are like 40 people, that's all. Some of them will fly to Iran, they will meet Ahmadinejad, and of course the Arabs, they like them because they're a kind of a propaganda, that not all of the Jewish people are Zionists. But they're quite famous because they're very exotic and very colorful. So again, 92% are not Zionist, but they are a part of the system. 8% are anti-Zionist, which means they do not take money from the states, they do not go to vote. And then the Neturei Karta, the radical, they haven't even an Israeli ID. They do not carry an ID. They don't want nothing with the Israel states. Most of them lives over there at the Mea Shearim neighborhood.
Okay, one question.
Yes.
Why the anti-Zionist lives in Israel?
Because again, this is the Holy Land. This says we have the right to live here because we are the sons of God. We follow the rules of God. It's not forbidden to live here. What is forbidden is actually to have a government. You are the sinners. You are not allowed to live here. We follow the rules of the Bible.
The Jews that are living in the walled city, in those apartments, where do they come from?
Okay, the Jewish people in the old city.
Yeah.
So we have got here settlers, which mean not Haredim, national religious.
Okay.
They are nationalists. They serve the army. By the way, they are extreme nationalists. These ancestors used to live there. Okay.
Is it legal to not get an Israeli ID? Isn't
They
it
cannot force
compulsory?
it you. They cannot force it you.
Okay.
By the way, this boy is a successor of a Rebbe, a Hasidic Rebbe. He is a son of a Rebbe. I can recognize a guy according he's working for the location of the packet that he belongs to the nobility. All of the boys will wear different. They have the privilege to wear different. This boy, his packet is in the back. It's a sign he belongs or just a dynasty of rabbis. Here, by the way, you can see Zionists, they are the Nazis. Very simple.